By the way, sorry about the vacuum in the background. There's not much I can do about it.
No worries.
I'll turn it on stream now, actually. There we go.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you are from. I am your host, DTF1 Days, alongside my co-commentator, RSF1 Invade.
Hello.
Here for the British Grand Prix. It's the Silverstone circuit.
Alright, I'm just sorting out my here. Alright. Hello, and
Our first driver out of the
the
pits.
background
Sorry.
is the vacuum.
Gotcha. Our first driver to come out of the pits is Bizarre Mike in the Haas.
Just want to point out that Rage Quit does have a quality ban for this race, and he has just retired.
Well, that would explain that. The second man out of the pits is Desbro in the Alpine, followed by Dano in the Mercedes. Do not see anybody behind him. After him, though, we've got James Jungle in the Ferrari. All these drivers right now on the softs, of course, this being Q1.
Also want to say for the people in chat, this will be Locker's and Hippo's debuts in this division, saying they both got moved up from F5 to F4. Both.
Speaking of Hippo, he will be the next man out of the pits in the McLaren.
Hippo was the championship leader in F5, and now he's just went up to challenge himself instead. Good on him.
I can respect that.
Bizarre Mike's round, and he has collided
It
with
is
Wally
Bizarre
on the
Mike.
lane.
Where is he?
Turn 1.
Oh boy, yep. Turn, yep, right out of Abbey. Is that farm?
Yeah, I was on board with him. He's just completely lost it.
Yeah, no front wing for him. Shame for his first run.
Next will be Desbro. He had a little bit of a twitch in the rear wing there through turn 1. It looked like he was gonna lose it, but he's still fine on this lap. He's gonna open DRS.
Gonna open the DRS for the Wellington straight.
Let's see what the sector 1 time will be. It's gonna be a 27.9.
Yes, 27.939 to be exact.
Yeah, some cars up ahead. Hopefully by the time he catches up to them, they will get out of the way.
Coming down the old-fashioned main straight. Now into Cops. And keeps it good. Doesn't run wide or oversteer through the corner. Passes through Bizarre Mike. Riding on board with him now through Maggots and Beckett's. Opens the DRS for the hanger straight and for the through the first 2 seconds is a 104.452. Now through Stowe.
It's a
little wide, doesn't invalidate.
I mean,
through the final chicane.
Twitch and turn 1.
And to the line, it's a 128.482 for the Alpine. Dano behind him with a 128.9.
James Jungle next across the line, and he's invalidated.
He's invalidated.
Oh,
He's invalidated coming out of Stowe.
Oh.
Let's hope for his sake. He's got enough fuel to put up another run. It looks like he will, so he's going to go again. Would have been a 128.5. Would have been good enough for P2.
It's Hippo next, and he's on a 4.3 in the middle sector, which is a 10th quicker than Desbros.
That's exactly right. Coming out of stove, he keeps it clean through the chicane. To the line, it's a 128.369 for pole. He takes pole by over a 1/10 of a second. A phenomenal lap from the McLaren, who is trying to test himself and so far doing a great job. And look at that. Look at that. Macy Q by over 4/10 takes pole from Hippo.
That is crazy.
Phenomenal lap from the Red Bull. The next man to cross the line will be TYG Rogue.
I think
Macy now coming out of stove.
Up that lap perfectly or something like that.
For sure, we've got 2 yellows, one on the Wellington straight and the other through Maggots and Beckett's. To the line, Rogue will put up a 129.0. P5 currently.
Yeah, he'll have to improve on that because that will not get through. James Jungle, he's backed off.
Desbro must have put up a second lap because his last lap was about 7.9 off, and we've got an Alfa Romeo off the track. It's Button, who's just started his outlap.
Yeah, he's probably getting out of the way for some other drivers. RSF1 locker, he's looking...
James Jungle puts up a 36.7.
Yeah, he completely...
Definitely not the lap he was putting up.
And Locker...
Imagine this will be the lap he...
Locker...
29.3.
I think he might have made a few mistakes on that lap.
Joshua Meister starting his hot lap now. Next man across will be Snedden. He's starting his hot lap. Following him will be LA Ham. Just check that. Will be Hippo, who is putting up another lap. We got a yellow. It's first Ferrari.
Spinning Ferrari.
Snedden.
Yeah. Completely spun.
Snedden spins out of turn 1. Next man across the line, not him. Ooh, Bizarre Mike is... Nope, never mind. That's his outlap.
Old man.
LA Ham also in foul.
I think he might be
Old Manzi. Where is he?
He's going through the second to last turn now.
Yep.
He's
coming through the chicane now. Gonna go on the board with him for these final few corners. To the line, it's a 128.5. Puts him P4. A good lap from the Red Bull, without a doubt. He invalidates this lap, so any shot he had at possibly improving on this run is gone.
Joshua, he's looking like he could be going to cross the line next. He is going to cross the line next. It's
a 27.3. Phenomenal lap from the Alpha Tauri.
6/10.
6/10 of a second over Macy Q. He's going to definitely see that lap. No, it is the... Hippo comes across the line, improves by about 35 hundredths of a second.
Hippo
puts him up to P3.
Flat. Bizarre Mike did a 3.7 in the middle sector.
I was going to say something about Snedden, but currently he's on a 2-minute lap.
Yeah, remember he spun out, started
Looks like he's lagging a little bit.
We'll have to keep an eye on him then.
Going to the line, LA Ham puts up a 28.007.
5.
Nice. Phenomenal lap from the Haas. Next man across the line will be Button, and Button puts a 28.4. Good enough for P7. The next man that just crossed the line, I believe, is, yep, TYG Rogue. Didn't improve on his lap, though. Next man across the line is a Red Bull. It's Old Manzi.
Only Destroyer is gonna be
don't
next.
think
He's way far from the finish line. No, He did grab a slipstream of a slow AlphaTauri, not too sure which one, but he's going to come across the line now.
Well, it wasn't Jedi Gamer, I can tell you that much. 28.6 for the Williams, puts him P9 for the time being. Josh Meister looking to put up another lap. Bizarre Mike has invalidated his current lap, and he's up by over about 1.3 seconds up on his, or down on his time.
Invalidated. Trying to find someone who's actually on a valid lap here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Got cars all over the place.
Is this Bizarre Mike?
DOR Skyline is currently on a valid lap, but
it is, and he's next across the line. It's looking good so far for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Across the line, it's a 28.0. He's 4 milliseconds ahead of Hippo and 9 milliseconds behind Ham.
Rogue also improved by 4 tenths to 28.6.
And across the line will be Dano, who just started another hot lap. Fishsticks will be the next to cross the line. After him will be Jedi Gamer, both starting hot laps. LA Ham diving into the pits. Ditto Destroyer.
Keep an eye on him. Gonna come to the line.
To the line, it's a 27.951. Josh Meister once again improves his lap by about a tenth, I think.
Yep,
27.2. He's over 0.3 of a second ahead of Bizarre Mike.
28.2.
The Ferraris are in trouble right now if they do not improve.
Snedden is on a lap and he's next across the line. What can he set? Oh, this is a lovely triangle, and he did.
P15 for Snedden. It's a 29.22.
The Ferraris are
following
struggling.
him will be James Jungle, who across the line is going to put up a 28.467. Who just knocked his teammate out.
Of the top
currently knocking his teammate out of Q1.
Oh, Jedi Gamer, I think I just saw 3.8 in the middle sector.
Yep, it's a 103.8 for Jedi Gamer. Let's see what he can do across the line. Oh, who was that who just put up a lap? Was that Fishsticks?
No, Macy Q.
Jedi Gamer with the 127.9 flat puts up P3.
Yeah, never mind, it was Fishsticks.
And Fishsticks puts up a 27.9 as well.
The AlphaTauri
puts in P6. That's for sure. Snedden's gonna have to pull in this lap. The current tire he is on is,
Rogue,
well, frankly,
is
really old.
15th now.
Yes, he is the man on the bubble.
Let's see. James Jungle, 5 tenths down. There's a spinning Alpine of Desbro. Locker will have to improve, only Destroyer will. Snedden, Pierre's going to have to set a lap.
Joshua has retired from the session. He is more than satisfied with his 27.2.
He's safe anyway.
Desbro and Dano both going really slowly through Maggots and Beckett's. I don't think these two realize that there is a speeding, absolutely flying AlphaTauri behind them. Oh, maybe not anymore. He definitely looked faster on the map, I'll tell you that much.
You're trying to find who's on the line.
As did Fishsticks, who was catching up to these two.
Desbro is going to start that. Hippo's on a lap, 3 tenths up.
Fishsticks is about to start a lap.
Hippo's 3 tenths up, going into sector 2 now. Oh, he's a 10th down now. How much time has he just lost through there? 4 tenths. Jesus Christ.
Well, he just finished his first sector.
Hippo does not.
Greasy has now retired from the session. He is satisfied with his time.
I'm bored with Hippo through. Might get some best.
Sorry, Mike. Now your front row for Q1 has retired from the session. There's still 3.5 minutes to go.
Oh, Hippo's involved.
Oh, Hippo runs wide out of the final part of the S's and just
3 minutes
invalidates.
left.
Rough scenes. Still got plenty of time. But he's got to change his tires this time.
Only destroy it.
Stay out.
Around 2 temps up. Jedi think is safe.
Jedi Gamer is P3 and he is retired.
Oh, is that right?
The only person in the
I swear
DOR Skyline has now retired.
I saw rain from the helicopter cab, but I didn't see it on board.
I don't know if we're gonna get rain. If we do, that's gonna shake some things up, especially for our bottom 5. The Destroyer right now looks like he just put up a purple sector 2. The game could be lying, but on the off chance it's telling the truth, this could be a huge lap for the Williams driver.
This could get him out of the bottom 5.
Coming to the line, it's gonna be a 28-1, puts him P10.
And knocks
only
Rogue
Destroyer
into
14.
He does knock Rogue into that bottom half.
Old Manzi, not Old Manzi. Who are we looking at? Macy Q. No, he dives into the pits. He isn't retired from the session too.
Locker's
Fishsticks
3
put up
temps up.
P3.
Locker's 3 temps up for the first sector.
And as we were talking about other drivers, Fishsticks put up a 27.58, good enough for P3.
Great.
I don't know how both of us missed that, but a phenomenal lap from the Alfa Romeo. Oh, Pierre will be the next man to cross the line.
Locker's 5 temps up.
Desbro puts up P4 with a 27.8. What can Pierre do, who has yet to put up a time in this session?
Pierre's doing it risky.
Cross the line, it's a 29.2. It's only 18th. He's got to find another 7 tenths.
It's not working off. Locker's done a 28.4. He lost about 2 tenths.
14th, Desbro, not Desbro. Only Destroyer again crosses the line and gets P4.
Locker is
Old
just
Manzi
on
P9. TYG Rogue trying to put in another lap. I don't think he improved on his last one.
Pierre's not up.
Next man across the line will be Snedden.
He's 5 tenths up. Doesn't
crosses the line. It's 18th. He only finds 3 tenths. He's got to find another half a second at least.
He can still go around though. He's just got enough time. The session is short now.
James Jungle will be the first of 5 drivers to miss out on Q2.
Locker's in P15 and invalidated.
Oh no! Rough scenes for the Alpine. He's got to hope no one behind him improves. Including Pierre, who will be the next man. Rogue has crashed. What's happened? He spins out of cops. He spins out of cops. And Pierre is in the pits. He's not going to improve. LA Ham runs very wide. Does not invalidate. Doesn't improve, but it doesn't matter. It's P10 for the McLaren.
The only guy who can beat Locker now is Snedden.
Can Snedden beat him? He's up by almost 4 tenths on his last lap.
This could get
He's got to find another 10th somewhere. He's got to find another 10th somewhere.
He's 4 laps off.
Got to do absolutely perfect through this final chicane.
He's done quite well.
Oh, he runs wide. It's good.
Oh,
and he gets it. P14 for the Ferrari. Wow.
Big shame for Locker.
Locker is beside himself after this lap. I don't think he'll be able to believe what just happened. But Snedden, on the other hand, absolutely elated to find out he will be making it to Q2.
Oh. Do you want to take us out who's been knocked out in this quali, or should I?
I got it. Your 5 drivers out after Q1. RSF1 Locker in the Alpine. James Jungle, the Ferrari. TYG Rogue, the Aston Martin. The Williams of Pierre. And the Aston Martin of Rage Quit after a qualifying ban. Phenomenal lap from Locker in the chat saying, no, Snedden, no, that was so not right. Oh.
Oh. Big shame for Locker, though.
Locker.
At least the other deputy in this division, Hippo, is through.
That is the good news. Both Hippo and... Wait, it was Hippo... Oh, Hippo and Locker both moved up.
Yep.
Yeah, and Locker made it up. And Hippo might actually be the first man out of the garage for Q2. No, it's actually going to be one of the AlphaTauris, I believe.
It's
Jedi Gamer.
Of
oh, wow.
DOR Skyline.
Yeah, DOR Skyline.
On the softs, I don't know if that's just a visual glitch or not, but it shows that he's on the softs.
No, I think Skyline's on the softs.
I mean, there is a visual glitch going on.
After Skyline, though, we have Jedi Gamer on the mediums. Following him are both McLarens on mediums and the Williams of Only Destroyer on softs. Bassar Mike is on mediums. We got Desbro on mediums. Macy Q is leaving the garage now on mediums. Pretty much your only drivers on softs are Skyline, Button, Old Manzy, Snedden, and Only Destroyer. And that's subject to change considering 2 of them have not yet left the garage.
But
check that,
yes,
3
again,
of them.
We do not know if this is true just because of the visual glitch going along with the spectators on this game. But we'll find out due to the lap times. But Skyline does start its lap now. Going into turn 1, he takes out lovely, swings it through there, and he hits the apex.
To the yellow in sector 3. Seems like everything's sorted itself out. We're all good.
Will Dano get out of the way? He does just.
Oh, Skyline was wishing he would have given him a bit of a toe. He was wishing for that toe. 27.8 through the first sector.
Coming down the old pit lane now. Going through Cops where you can easily spin. He does take a bit of a lift down to 7, back up to 8, and wings it through Maggots and Beckett.
Oh, cuts the corner, doesn't invalidate though, keeps going.
Opens the RS4.6 middle sector. I do think he's on the mediums, actually. I don't know the name of this turn, which I should.
Stowe.
Yeah, there we are, thank you. And I think this is Village. I'm not too sure though.
I think. I don't know Silverstone that well. To the line, it's a 28.8 for Skyline in the Haas.
That is a medium time, to be honest.
If he's running that on softs, I would be a little worried.
Yeah.
Jedi Gamer will be the next man to cross the line, and he puts up a 28.777. Oh, LA Ham with a 28.5 on mediums. Hippo 28.6. Only Destroyer a 31.9. Clearly not the lap he wanted. I can imagine that was a bit of a warm-up lap.
Or he's trying to warm in these tires for Q3.
Perhaps these are the tires he ran for his first run in Q1.
Desbro 28.6.
Following him will be Button, but he will be starting a hot lap. So the next man to look at will be Old Manzi down the hangar straight.
The game shows he's on softs. Heavens knows so.
Coming through Stowe now. Through the chicane. Again, someone in the comment section, if you know the name of the corners through here, these final 3 corners, let me know. 30.3 on softs. I don't feel like that's a good. That's not at all a good time on softs.
Definitely not a good enough time on the softs.
I mean, I'm not that good at. Oh, we got a yellow. It's not for. It's for Josh Meister. He has completely stopped his car. I mean, his car was to a complete stop before Stowe. And we got LA Ham who comes across the line, and it's a 28.0 for him. Hippo only 16 thousandths of a second off.
Well, you can show that Hippo was generally F4 pace.
Next man to put up a lap will be Button in the Alfa Romeo. Across the line, he puts up a 28.5 on the mediums. Puts in P3. Good lap.
Very good lap.
Got Old Manzi coming through Stowe.
Josh is from purple sector 1.
To the line, he puts up a 30.2. He improves by less than a 10th on his last lap. And again, that just doesn't seem like a good lap time for a guy who's on softs.
That's why I'm starting to think he's on the mediums.
I didn't even think there was a visual glitch for this. It's kind of weird.
It's been going around for ages now, to be honest.
Got a yellow in Sector 3. Both the McLarens are going slowly down the hangar straight.
Come to the line next, and he will set 27.8 on the mediums.
27.8 on mediums.
That is mad.
Now that's a good lap. I am now on board with Fish Sticks just coming out of Cobb's and towards Maggots and Beckett's. Great job coming through there. Exit a little slow, but opens the DRS down the hangar straight. It's a 104.2. Now going through Stowe. Goes 6th gear, coming to the chicane now, brings it down to 3rd gear. Now through the final corner to the line, it's a 28.2. 1 full 10th behind his teammate.
Look at the McLaren's gap between each other, and then looking out at Alpha's.
3rd, 4th, and 5th are exactly 1/10 apart.
Gee.
Hippo a 10th ahead of Button, and Button a 10th ahead of Fish Sticks.
Greasy did a 28.3 while we was talking.
Oh yeah. Puts in P6 now. We still have 4 drivers though who have yet to put up a lap.
think Fish Sticks
Gonna ride on
is
board
going to be
with-
the next again. Fish Sticks
Currently up on his
looking
time
decent.
by almost a tenth.
Oh,
See how he can prove through here, and he invalidated. I was wondering why he let off the gas. Unfortunate situation for him.
Oh, Skyline's on.
Skyline,
top.
where are we at? P9. What it's happened? Oh, he's spun.
Be careful, there is
There's-
a fast approaching car.
There's a fast approaching Williams. There you go. Get out of the way. Good job.
Thank
Get on
God.
board with
It
Dano.
was
He's
only
2
destroyed
seconds from the
behind him.
line. It's a 28.662 to the line. It's P7 for the Mercedes.
Only destroyer was behind him there. Who's 2 seconds up on this time.
Oh, and Macy Q with a 28.15. Puts him P4.
Good luck.
Oh, and Bizarre Mike with a 27.5 on the mediums. A phenomenal lap from the Haas.
Destroyer 28.3.
Destroyer 28.3.
Trying to look who's next here. It's Dano who's
Would
spun.
be Dano, but he's spun. He's spun. Into the gravel he goes.
Keep it out the wall. Yeah, yes. He's gonna return
Yeah.
to the track with a fast approaching car. But it's
It's a Red Bull. It's Macy. Josh
Josh
Meister has retired
Meister.
in the pits.
fair enough.
We've got Snedden on softs. He's the
That's
only driver who has
interesting.
yet to put up a lap.
I don't understand why you would be on soft. Yeah, you can start them, but you don't do them.
I think he just wants to make it a Q2, and he puts up P8 at 28.288.
That might be mediums, you know, just a visual glitch.
It perhaps.
Because that looks like more medium time than a soft. But
Yeah,
obviously that
I would say
around
the only
what
2
soft
times
time
so
was in
far that have
Q1.
looked soft times are
I mean,
probably
that
Bizarre
does look
Mike
like
and
his
Josh Meister.
Q1 time. Esbro's up on his time. He's about a 10th up at Desborough.
Coming to the original pit straight for Silverstone. Now through Cops.
3
Clean
minutes
job
to
through
go.
there.
Drivers will be rushing out the pits very, very soon.
Or maybe some of them will follow suit, follow Josh Meister's example and just retire. He's up by over Desborough's up by over a 10th through the first 2 sectors. It's a purple
That
sector
won't
2.
be
I feel like
enough.
that's a lie.
It won't be enough yet.
Fish Sticks is retired. He's only in P7. Dano's retired.
They don't want to
Dano
go on
is-
softs.
I don't know.
I
don't
reckon that Dano's retired because he don't want to be on softs. Same with probably most of
Desborough
the
gets
drivers.
P11. Macy Q gets P5.
Oh, he's just. If he can find some time in this, he could get through.
Destroyer is invalidated his current
Oh,
lap.
Manzi.
Doesn't look like he's gonna put up another
About
lap.
a
Old
second
Manzi's
off.
retired, and Button.
Yeah, 1.2 seconds up here, old Manzi.
Oh, Old Manzi. Oh, I thought he retired for a second. Coming through Stowe
No.
now. LA Ham is now retired.
Everyone's
Final few
retiring.
corners. Yep. I don't think anyone wants to touch the softs. But Old Manzi puts it P3 with a 27.995.
He just went into the
He's pretty much
27.
guaranteed himself Q3 with that lap.
Hippo has retired.
In fact, even if all 5 of the drivers behind him put up a better lap than him, he, at worst, will be P8.
I need to even have to worry because they're the tyres he's starting on and he's not going to start there anyway. Skyline has invalidated. Jedi is on a
He's
lap.
got enough time to get to the line, though. He's got more than enough time. I don't think Jedi Gamer will, though. He's going to have to hope he can put up a phenomenal lap here.
Those mediums, his mediums are going to be destroyed for the race.
Absolutely annihilated.
Yeah.
He's going to put up another lap. I don't believe this.
He shouldn't.
This is absolute madness.
He generally shouldn't. OG Greasy, he's going to start a lap. Mediums as well. Monty is going to go to the pits. Jedi Gamer, he's 210 stall.
Jedi Gamer doing an absolute masterful job through Maggots and Beckett's. Opens up the DRS down the hangar straight. He's up by over 3/4 of a second. Oh boy.
That's how much he improved through Maggots and Beckett's.
Right on board, actually, with these final few corners with Jedi Gamer and the AlphaTauri. Quali is
and
across the line he gets a 27.877.
Skyline's invalidated.
An absolutely phenomenal lap from him.
And and
Desbro's around the cops. Meanwhile,
and Greasy's
no one
invalid.
left to put up a lap.
Everyone else has invalid. I heard
Exactly right.
Skyline's
Which is unfortunate because Skyline is up by almost half a second.
Yeah, he's finishing off this lap to see what it will be. See if it will make him
It's
through.
going to be an absolutely gutting if it's anything quicker than a 28.3. No, he would have missed out. He would have been P14. Greasy is diving in the pits. I can assume Desbro will do the same with his non-existent wing.
So
wow,
that's
Jedi Gamer with the only one of only 2 drivers to make it to Q3 on the soft tire. The other being Sneddon, making it by the skin of his teeth.
And look who's made it into Q3. RSF1 Hippo, the old
He is P6
F5 championship leader.
Oh boy. Now we just await Desbro's retirement from the session.
3, 2, 1, and he should be retired.
And there we go.
I'll do the knocked out 5 out of this session. So,
Go
11th, Only Destroyer in the Williams. 12th, OG Greasy in the Mercedes. 13th, Desbro in the Alpine. 4th, Dano in the Mercedes. And 15th is Door Skyline in the Haas.
In order for Jedi Gamer and Sneddon to take full advantage of those softs that they're going to be starting on, they're going to have to qualify 1-2.
Or probably at the front and get a gorgeous start.
Absolutely smacking. I mean, not just good or great, but just, I mean, absolutely slap the competition at the starting line. Shh. Shush. Shush. The first man out is going to be our F5 points leader, now an F4 driver, RSF1 Hippo.
In the McLaren, the Tango machine, the fancy car, whatever you want to call it. It's the car's manufacturer's home GP, and I do think it might be some of the drivers' home GPs, but I'm not.
Some?
I mean, I
That's
do
an
not know.
understatement.
But I
I
mean,
don't think I do know.
There might be some Americans only good like yourself with Rage Quit. Everyone's coming out on laps now, other than Jedi Gamer. Daisy there?
Yep, I'm here. Just muting myself for a moment here.
Alright. Hippo, he's been looking good throughout this quali, to be honest. Obviously the quali merchant himself though. Let's see what he can do. Maybe snatch a pole on the debut, but I don't know about that. He's gonna start the flat now, and I'd say report with RSF1 Hippo. It does take a little bit of lift into turn 1, and breaks to the 50-meter board. He turns and hits the apex for that turn, and this one going for this first of many straights, opens the DRS, and there's not much to talk about other than going under the bridge. 50-meter board again, slams it through there, takes a long through that right-hander. Doesn't take this much curve on the outside, but you can, but that's fine. Does ride the outside curve there, turns in at 50-meter board. He does not lift, which is interesting, and he's going into Maggots, and now Beckett's, and he's invalidated.
Oh, when he invalidates. An unfortunate
But his
situation
teammates
for the
taking it
McLaren.
lovely, and I mean lovely. 3.6 in the middle of the sector. This could be a very low 27 at this point. From LA16 Ham. Going through the final few turns, and he's gonna come across the line and say 27.4.
Noise. 27.4 for the McLaren. Following him. Oh my.
Josh is gonna get into
Wow.
26s.
Josh Meister is easily in the 26s with his next run. It's not even a question of how.
I swear this is matching F3 pole position at this moment in time. I know it was a 27 flat.
And Macy Q with 27.8. Jedi Gamer, I may have invalidated his old lap, and Old Manzi. Go ahead.
Did a 27.7. Hippo, he looks like he's on another lap now. He's done the Maggots back is much better, and he's done a 3.9 in the middle sector. He is 3 tenths down on his teammate. Let's see how he can do this final sector.
Hippo gets a 103.9 through the first 2 sectors. Coming out of Stove.
He went into the 5th and 6th gear through there. 3rd gear, and he's gonna go up the gears now.
To the line. Hippo's a 27.8. It's 4 tenths off his teammate, but I know he can find that time. He's invalidated this lap, so no chance of putting up a better lap here. We got a yellow for Josh. He's warming up for another lap. Oh boy. Let's see what he can do this time.
Bolton did a 27.3 up to 2nd.
E2 for Bud. Across the line, it's a 27.6. Puts him P4. Improves by almost 2 whole tenths. Jedi Gamer. Bizarre Mike coming through the final chicane. To the line, it's going to be 27.2. Oh boy.
Josh.
Oh boy.
Josh here.
Are we gonna have another driver get promoted to another division?
Maybe, but we won't know about this. It's only the admins that make these calls.
Of course. Of course. Josh Meister takes an awful lot of curb into Cobbs. I don't know how he's able to do that without absolutely sending his car to the stars.
I guess he's just put in the practice, and then he's a 10th up.
And he's over a 10th up.
Oh
boy.
26 is here.
Oh boy.
There's no way this lap's
Sixth
gonna be
year.
faster
Oh,
than
and
the
he
F3
invalidates. He invalidates out of Stowe.
That would.
What are the odds?
If he kept
It's
that
the
lap
commentator's curse.
and kept that 10th, he would have beaten the F3 pole. And F3 is supposed to be quicker than this division.
Oh, each division, the higher you go, the faster it's supposed to get. Unless you're talking about Josh Meister, apparently.
Generally.
Sorry, Mike. He is coming into the pits. So LA Ham and Snedden are the only two out here right now. To the line, Snedden will start his hot lap.
Everyone's in the pit.
It's right on board with him the whole lap here.
Alright, yeah, we didn't even talk about who's going to get pole here. Who do you reckon's on pole?
Through Luke, now down the Wellington straight, opens the DRS.
Days, who do you reckon's getting pole after you've seen these first laps?
I've got to go with Josh Meister. I mean, the guy just continues to put up absolutely bonkers laps.
I'm going to go for an outside shot, and I'm going to say RSF1 Hippo for the pole.
I mean, that would be an absolutely awesome story, without a doubt.
Yes, 100%. I just want to see it happen.
Snedden goes a little wide.
A little, even.
Keeps it going, and it's a 104, and he invalidates. I don't know what he's doing there. I think he knew the lap was bad, and he just wanted to abort it.
I think he forgot where the track were for a second.
And he's pulling into the pits. I guess he's going to put in another run. So in the meantime, we will go over to LA Ham.
With his teammate in the background on and out lap. He's
almost 2 tenths up on his last time.
Yep, 3.4 in the middle sector.
Touches the curb, but it helps him rotate the car better.
Could we
now
see
come through the final chicane.
a 26 from S06 Ham, maybe?
It's possible. We'll find out when he gets across the line. It's a 127.3. Puts him P3. Macy Q has left the session. I do hope he has not lagged out.
I'll try getting back.
Josh Meister on another outlap. Next man to cross the line will be Old Manzi. He's coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Almost a quarter of a second up through the first sector, and coming to the second sector. Opens up the DRS down the hanger straight. He's about 1600ths of a second up on his last time. That would be good enough for P5, just over his teammate.
That's how close it is.
Stowe now. We got a yellow in sector 2. It's out of Cobbs. It's for an AlphaTauri. It is for Jedi Gamer. And to the line. Old Manzi does beat his teammate. It's a 127.484.
Come on, Hippo.
That is accurate.
So was his teammate. Teammate pulling in the pits. Teammate's done.
He's not going to have enough time to put in another lap.
Macy Q.
Or even come out.
Fish Sticks. He's next across the line. I don't know what he's going to set to work, but he's gonna
to the line. It's a 27.226 for the Alfa Romeo. Wow.
P2, and he's been looking like
Is he planning on putting another lap?
Button,
Oh, Josh, it's a 26.9.
he has beaten the F3 pole position time set by Breather Container.
Wow. Unreal.
Button did a 27.3, by the way.
Macy Q has once again left the session. I'm starting to worry if whether or not he'll be able to stay for the session.
Hippo, he looks like he's on a lap.
Alright, next man to cross the line will be Old Manzi, but he's up by over 2 seconds on his last time. I don't think he was planning on pushing for another lap, and that's fine.
He might not make it.
Oh, he misses out by maybe a half a second.
Hippo's 2
Hippo will be the next man to cross the line.
Yeah, he's 2 tenths
Yeah,
down,
as you
though.
mentioned, he's down on his time. He's got to find something here.
I don't think he's got this. He might be starting P8.
Which, regardless, is a
He
good
lost
position
another
to
2
start
tenths.
in his first race for Tier 4 after moving himself up from Tier 5. Oh, Jedi Gamer had the shot, and he would have been...
He was 4 tenths.
He would have... No, he didn't. He had no shot in improving his position, but he would have had a 28-0.
That lap by John.
Button will be the next man to cross the line. He's got to find some amount of time. And he does, but it's not enough. He misses out on P4 by 5 milliseconds. See what Josh Meister can do. He did not even bother to improve his lap. He was just coming
3 tenths
across the line.
You could join him in the 26 grand.
Snedden was a 103.7 in the first 2 sectors for this lap. Can he keep it valid, and what can he do in this final sector? More specifically, these final 3 corners, he rides the curb there. It's a 27.6. It's P7 for the Red Bull, and Hippo puts up, I think, P4. If you look at his dash, I believe it says P4.
I do not know. Yes, it was.
And it is P4. Old Manzi, despite the gamer tag, not driving at all like an old man.
Great.
The only man under a 27.2 in this session was Josh Meister. After him is Fish Sticks, followed by Bazaar Mike, Old Manzi, LA Ham, Button, Snedden, Macy Q, Hippo, and Jedi Gamer.
That is crazy.
Phenomenal Q3 from these guys.
Hopefully we can see that in the race. Oh, someone's readied up early.
Oh no, who readied up early? Oh, I was gonna look at my Discord while we waited, but oh no. Whoever readied up early is gonna be getting a serious penalty here. Unfortunate circumstances.
Oh, what? Actually, there's a new timer.
Yeah, I see it. Last time I looked up, it was said 5 seconds, and now, well, 20 something.
Do you want me to go through the formation lap, or do you want to do it?
You go right ahead, man.
Alright then. I'm just gonna get all the stuff up on the spectator menu. And P20, we have Rage Quit in the Aston Martin. He's been waiting a long time due to that quality ban. 19th we have Pierre B in the Williams. 18th we have TYG Rome in the Aston Martin. 17th we have James Jungle in the Ferrari. 16th we have RSF1 Walker in the Alpine. 15th we have Door Skyline in the Haas. 14th we have Dano in the Mercedes. 13th we have Desbro in the Alpine. 12th we have OG Greasy in the Mercedes. 11th we have Only Destroyer in the Williams. 10th we have Jedi Gamer in the AlphaTauri. 9th we have RSF1 Hippo in the McLaren. 8th we have Macy Q in the Red Bull. 7th we have Sned Ferrari. 6th we have Button in the Alfa Romeo. 5th we have LA16 Ham in the McLaren. 4th we have Old Manzi in the Red Bull. 3rd we have Bizarre Mike in the Haas. 2nd we have Fish Sticks in the Alfa Romeo. And your pole position man who did a 126 in quali in the AlphaTauri is Joshua Meister. Daisy there?
Yep, just letting you do the formation lap. Your top 6 all on medium tires, Snedden on softs, 8th and 9th being Macy Q Hippo, both on mediums, Jedi Gamer 10th on the softs, mediums, soft, medium, another duo of softs, medium, soft, medium is your tire order.
I don't.
Okay, and now we've got a bit of a glitch going on between the Red Bulls. I don't know what's going on with Macy Q's AI.
What's going on?
Oh boy, it's getting pushed. It's getting pushed by Button. This could be bad.
Oh no, Macy Q has to leave the lobby.
Yeah, Macy Q, if you can hear us, you're gonna have to leave.
That happened in F3. Oh, this happened in F3 last night. No.
Oh god.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't like what it sounds. Oh boy. And now Macy Q is just going on a ride of his own. And now the Red Bull has gotten off to a phenomenal start. Joking, of course. Oh no. Are we really gonna have a lobby restart?
No, I don't think so.
Well, everyone on this grid is gonna have frozen tires. I mean, literally frozen.
Oh, it's back to grid and we might have a sudden start.
The lobby has been completely...
We might have a sudden start here. Just...
Oh, yep, there we go. Yep. Oh boy.
And it's been a clean start.
Oh, a lot of people going real wide. They're cold tires, but Josh Meister doesn't seem to be affected nearly that bad. Gonna look towards the back to see if anyone's crashing or anything. It does not look like it.
Walker's going around the outside of everyone here. Desbro and James are side by side.
Macy Q has joined back into the session. Of course, his AI is all the way down in 18th now. Unfortunate scenes for the Red Bull.
Jedi Gamer with Desbro down there. Desbro's going to take the place. So does James Jungle. I think only destroyed.
Meanwhile, up at the front, Josh Meister's already got about 7/10 of a second to Bizarre Mike.
Destroyer might have damage yet. I think he does. Everyone's getting by him now. Just trying to look about now. Snedden's quite close. He's made a great start.
I hope for only Destroyer's sake he can get out of Pierre's way. He's holding up his teammate right now.
Greasy gets by Old Manzi.
He does. He's letting off the gas to let him through.
Right on the outside. Through Stoke. Great.
Coming to the end of this first lap. I have no idea even how to react. I didn't even know how to react to that sudden start.
Button gets by Jedi.
Only Destroyer goes into the pits. He is the only one to do so.
Surprisingly, after that sudden start.
Yeah, no kidding. I figured, oh, we got yellow. What's happened? James Jungle. What's happened to James Jungle?
Button and Jedi.
Looks like
Jedi gets back past Button. Never mind. Button's gonna hold it around the outside.
Oh!
This is some close.
They're both side by side down the Wellington straight, riding on board with Jedi Gamer. Let's see what can happen here. Oh, they touch.
Bit of contact.
They touch.
But he does get the move.
But Jedi Gamer gets the better of the two.
Oh, Locker, he might be looking around the outside Skyline here. But he has to be careful.
Oh, it's a three-way fight for P12. Oh! Dano's in the wall. The Mercedes is in the wall and he's in shambles.
He thought he was,
oh boy.
He thought that was the pit entry still. No, I'm joking. Obviously,
or
contact.
Somebody did, because oh boy.
There was a bit of contact. Big shame for Dano.
Oh. Dano is going to be most displeased with the Locker after that one. That's for sure. And Rogue was right behind it. I'm shocked he didn't get caught up in it. Is Locker going to look for the move on Skyline? No, not quite.
Everyone's spreading out now.
Yep. Sorry, Mike dropped back now to about 9/10 behind Josh Meister, who just continues to just pull away.
Oh, Greasy. Greasy could be looking for a move here. He's going to open the DRS. He's going to use a bit of patch 3.
But he knows the guy ahead of him also has DRS. We got a yellow. It's for Aston. It's for Rogue, and Dano has retired in the pits.
Oh,
and Rogue is just having a bad day right now.
Rogue, do not do a Verstappen out in. No one's backing down.
Rogue?
And Greasy goes back out, and Snedden was deep place.
Giving up P5 to Snedden.
James
Jungle with the first 3-second time penalty of the race. We got another yellow once again. TYG Rogue. Three-way fight. Excuse me. Three-way fight for P4 between Snedden, Fish Sticks, and OG Greasy. Oh. RSF1 Locker now gets a penalty. Skyline in the Haas is now in the pits. He's going to retire from the session. Already retiring after only 3 laps. And Dano with only 2 laps retired.
Greasy's gonna look down the top, but he can't make the move.
Massive, rides the curbs. Heavy.
Hit post pushing Old Man.
Does not work in his best favor though. Oh, Bazaar Mike is dropped from P2 to P4 and now P5 and now P6. What is going on with the Haas?
Did he
have the Haas got wing damage? He does. He's missing an end plate.
3 drivers have retired in the pits now.
After only 3 laps.
Bazaar
Mike now down to P9 after Button passes him. Meanwhile, at the front, LA Ham is now in P2, and he's starting to catch Josh Meister just a little bit.
Hippo's in P7 now.
Doing a good job keeping his position where he's at. Oh.
Locker does get by Bazaar Mike.
Now, Bazaar Mike is missing an end plate, so he has dropped from P2 to P12. Will Bazaar Mike be pitting onto hards? Will he retire from the race? He's got to worry about James Jungle, who thankfully doesn't go to his outside, or his inside, I should say.
Greasy is on the back of Fish Sticks.
Macy Q once again has rejoined the session, having massive connection issues all night so far.
Oh yeah, it stays the way you are, isn't it?
Yep. LA Ham had DRS there, so he's definitely catching Josh Meister. Makes a move work on Fish Sticks.
Great move, lovely move.
Bazaar Mike is pitting on to soft tires after just 4 laps on those mediums. And so far, the 3 drivers that have retired from this race have all been medium runners.
Hypoo is getting the back of Old Manty.
Meanwhile, LA Ham starting to creep up to Josh Meister.
Oh, Button could get Pepper here.
Maybe not here. Oh, Macy Q's retired. Coming out of cops, he crashed. We're going to have to get an onboard look. And it's a safety car.
He's been put out of his misery.
First driver to crash out of the race, and
this is just run,
crashed right along the inside wall out of cops.
Back into this.
Yeah. Bazaar Mike probably the most thankful of this safety car out of everybody. Along with all the drivers who started on the softs.
Yep, that will help them out, to be honest. Locker's in. James is in. Pierre is in. It wouldn't surprise me when the other soft drivers get a chance, they'll be in.
Currently you've got the top 11 with the safety car right now, and you've only got to wait for the bottom 5 of Locker Jungle, Pierre Destroyer, and Bazaar Mike.
Locker and James Jungle both have penalties, just to point that out.
The only 2 with penalties so far, despite the number of invalidations we had in qualifying.
Everyone's
do you think when the fuel load is lighter, do you think there will be more extension penalties and corner cuttings?
Yes, because the tires will also be a bit more weared up, if you get what I mean.
And we've got Snedden diving into the pits. Greasy stays out despite being on 5-lap-old softs. Coming to the line will be 6-lap-olds.
Jedi both in. Rage Quit has stayed out.
Yeah, definitely an interesting strategy call by these 2 that have chosen to stay out.
Hippo from P9 up to P6. Let's have a look at the biggest gainers, even though we've had pit stops.
Currently
so
it's Rage
Greasy,
Quit. P20
Greasy
to
up
P8.
9, Rage Quit up 12, Hippo up 3, LA16, Ham up 3, Locker up 7, James Jungle up 7, Pierre up 8, Bazaar Mike down 10, Seddon down 7, who's just boxed, Jedi Gamer down 6, who's just boxed.
Biggest dropper currently is Bazaar Mike, if this was your finishing order. But currently I'm going to guess Macy Q will probably be our biggest drop. Our Mike has an absolutely awful safety car restart.
If that is the big word in that.
I would hope for his sake that he doesn't have that. Considering he's qualified P3, I would definitely hope he shows up on or close to the podium.
And from P16, on his 8th F4 debut, is in the points.
Yeah, P9 for the Alpine.
This has been a great drive from him and also Hippo, but still a long way to go. 19 laps.
Of course, anything
Safety
could happen
car
between these two safety cars in this lap. Currently, the drivers you're waiting for to take a pit stop are your top 8 of Rage Quit, Button, Hippo, Old Manzi, Fish Sticks, Greasy, LA Ham, and Josh Meister.
Josh is leading the safety car. Let's see how he does take this. And he's going.
Seems like he's going now, and he's caught everyone out.
Everyone has been caught out. Jeez.
Cheeky move was by the AlphaTauri.
Old Manzi's getting close to Fish Sticks.
How long until Rage Quit gets passed by these drivers on new mediums?
Yep.
Desbro's the only driver on hards. I don't know how we didn't notice he was on hards before.
Hards are horrible around this track.
That we are in agreement with. Bizarre Mike is passed, only Destroyer for P12.
You would expect that though, being on 2 laps off. He's on for another stop.
Especially considering both those laps were under the safety car. Josh Meister has already pulled about to a second on that lead.
James Jungle is getting close to the locker. He is gonna try and make the move.
He's looking for the move.
He doesn't have the wall pace.
Looking outside now, looking inside.
He's gonna go down
he outbrakes them. They're about side by side. Oh, they almost touched. They came maybe millimeters from touching there. Oh, they touched this time. Oh, and James Jungle loses control of the car. Has a terrible line through the final corner, and now he is vulnerable to Pierre.
Bizarre Mike is also right on the back of these two. He's gonna look round the outside of Pierre. He can't get the move done. He's gonna get it now, maybe? No.
He definitely thought about it.
Oh, he might. He's been left the space.
Rage Quit right in front of Locker.
Bizarre Mike is going side by side with him now. He's gonna make the move just before cops. Great move.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff from the Haas. Oh, runs really wide, and so does Snedden in the background. Meanwhile, Rage Quit is just acting as a moving chicane. Oh! Jungle and Locker absolutely smash into each other, and Bizarre Mike makes the move around the outside of James Jungle. Now Pierre looking to make the move on the outside of him. Oh boy. James Jungle absolutely bend it. Oh, and he touched a little bit through Stowe.
Only Destroyer now.
James Jungle's now dived into the pits.
He got damage from the contact with Locker.
Yeah. RSF1 Locker trying to find any way past Rage Quit. Rage Quit with now another penalty. Maybe his first.
Rage Quit
is his first.
Holding up Locker.
But this time they're going to get DRS, so how much longer until Rage Quit gives up P8?
Bizarre Mike behind Locker though.
Yeah.
Locker's gonna go for He got the move. Bizarre Mike.
Bizarre Mike also trying to make the move on him, and he's made it on Rage Quit. Rage Quit loses 2 spots in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, you've got the 2 Williams and the Ferrari of Snedden fighting for P11. RSF1 Hippo gets his first penalty of the race. Oh.
Greasy gets a pen.
Bizarre Mike now will have DRS on Locker. How much longer can Locker hold him off?
Locker defend.
Locker is not using his ERS to defend him. He just lets him go. He's on 1 lap younger tires than Bizarre Mike is. OG Greasy puts up the best lap of the session with a 130.3. Snedden also gets a time penalty.
As he might be looking for a move on only Destroyer.
Oh! Rage Quit goes really wide. I think he lost control. Oh, and Desbro spins. I don't think those hards are doing him any favors. If I were him, I would definitely switch on to another set of tires. We've got RSF1 Locker with a 2nd penalty now.
Greasy and Ham are keeping up with Josh.
It's honestly shocking. I mean, hey, great for them, but wow. And Greasy, here's the craziest part. Greasy hasn't changed his softs yet. He is still on what coming to the line will be 11 lap old softs. And he is keeping up with these two. So he's definitely doing a phenomenal job with these tires. No, he stays out. LA Ham with the best lap of the session with a 1:33.06. Snedden with a 1:31.83 as the best lap of the session. Currently, Snedden is in P10.
At that point, World Class, if he stays in the points.
And if the lap holds up.
Hippo is getting close to Old Manzi for P5. He's getting close to Fish Sticks in P4. Hippo basically is fully RS here.
OG Greasy just about out of ERS. Well, Josh Meister's starting to run low, and LA Ham has still got a good battery left. If I were him, I'd be trying to make the move as soon as possible. Only Destroyer gets a penalty.
And Hippo, he's got DRS. Could he make a move? No, but only Old Manzi.
Old Manzi and Fish Sticks. Oh, they touch.
Hippo.
Oh, they touch.
Ah, never mind.
He's not going to go for the move. RSF1 Locker made the move on Bizarre Mike. He's now into P8.
Good stuff from Locker. He's doing what he needs to do. And Locker
Speaking of Locker, he puts up the best lap. Good stuff from the recently promoted driver. Button, meanwhile, keeping up with Hippo, Fish Sticks, and Old Manzi. Oh, they touched, I think. Yeah, they touched. Hippo looking to make a move. Is he going to be able to do it before cops? No, he isn't. He's going to have to back out. Keeps the car going, though. It looked like he was full throttle, and I think Fish Sticks was, too.
Hippo's basically pushing him through here.
Old Manzi gets a time penalty.
Yeah, gets a time penalty. Hippo's gonna get the move here. Never mind.
Coming into Stowe. Doesn't look like anyone gets anything going. Oh! OG Greasy's in the pits. He's the last driver that needed to pit out of those soft runners. His mediums are going to be pretty good at the end of this race. Downside is these medium runners are going to be pitting onto softs. Old Manzi, meanwhile, has just dropped an awful lot of time to the guys ahead. We're 5.6 seconds ahead of him.
That is crazy.
LA Ham's still trying to keep up with Josh Meister, and he's doing a good job sticking with him.
Fish sticks.
But he can't catch up to him. Yeah, Fish sticks with a 3-second time penalty. Now your only drivers without one are Desbro, Bizarre Mike, Button, Ham, LA Ham,
outside.
Josh Meister.
He's made the
Oh boy, and he made it work. Fish Sticks is left. Fish Sticks is now an AI. Oh no, this could be terrible for the Alfa Romeo team. James Jungle has gotten a 3-second time penalty. LA Ham back to the front. Is starting to make a run. Can he do anything? Josh Meister looks to be just letting him go. Oh, Josh Meister had to back out and he almost touched. He had to back out and he loses massive amounts of time. Meanwhile, LA Ham is going to get the undercut on him. I don't think you want to pit this soon
too early.
onto the softs.
That is way too early.
I don't think you want to do it.
He has to do 11
I don't think Josh was
later.
even going to think about doing it until maybe lap 20 with the way these guys are pushing these tires.
Actually, it's only about 2 laps early.
I don't know.
All
Sar Mike gets a 3-second time penalty.
And OG Greasy did about 12.
Well, he also had the safety car. You got to remember that. And so did all these medium runners who haven't pit yet. Fish Sticks has just joined back, and now his car has gone from P4 to P8.
Big change for Fish.
Only ahead of Destroyer by a minimal margin. Oh, and he's lost that position, and he's going to lose a position to Pierre as well. He is now holding on to the points by a thread. Oh, and he comes back and he gets slotted right behind Pierre.
I don't know, he's close at this point. Locker, maybe? Locker is close to Button.
Ham and Greasy both pit onto new tires. Greasy onto mediums and Ham onto softs. Hippo is in the pits. Josh Meister stays out
Button's
another
in the
lap.
pits.
Old Manzi's in the pits. I don't think anyone else is coming in this time. No, it's just those three.
Next
All
lap,
onto brand new softs. Jedi Gamer gets another 3-second penalty.
Medium runners will be boxing. OG Greasy
gets the best lap of the race.
Up into P9, he is ahead of the guy who is fighting of LA16 Ham, so the undercut has worked.
Question is it going to work on Josh Meister? Because that's the guy you really want to beat. He's using all of his ERS despite being pretty much out by now.
Oh, that was well wide from Snedden. Trying to catch up to Locker, who looked like he was sideways through there.
I would say Bizarre, Mike, Locker, and Snedden should probably all go on to new tires. Bizarre Mike takes my word of advice. But Josh Meister stays out yet again. How long will he be staying out? Because LA Ham is making time on him.
Maybe this lappy boxes, maybe not.
I think Josh is going to stay out until the tires feel, quite frankly, terrible.
I want to check something. What tires did the RSF1
LA Ham has put up the best lap of the race. Locker can go to the end of the race. I don't know about that.
No, if he keeps hold of his tires, he can go to the end of the race and he can win this race.
Well, he's also got to worry about Snedden, and Snedden technically has a better shot at that.
Yeah, Snedden can also go to the end of the race. They both start on softs.
But they're both going to have to take care of their tires, and them fighting like this is going to be the opposite of taking care.
To be honest, all they have to do is 10 extra laps. I'm sure the mediums can do around 20 laps, so that should be fine.
I know for a fact they can do 20, and Josh Meister is in. Josh Meister is in.
It's going to put Snedden in the lead, ahead of RSF1 Locker.
With Pierre not too far behind them in the Williams in P4 currently. Going to be P3 when he ends up passing.
OG Greasy again.
That he does.
Where's Josh gonna come out and all that?
Can LA16 Ham get ahead of Josh Meister? He does. The undercut has worked.
They're gonna be. Look how
the undercut has worked.
3 seconds.
He only just gets out of the pits. About 4 seconds almost.
Keep an eye on this Locker and Snedden fight. This could get very spicy.
That's exactly right.
This is the battle for the lead. Well, this is the battle for the win.
It very well can be.
Hippo gets past Desborough.
Currently, your top 4 have to hope for one thing and one thing only. Green flag conditions to the end. Snedden riding the curbs and losing the rear end a little bit. He's definitely going to lose the lead here. He doesn't have the momentum Locker does out of Maggots and Beckett's, and Locker will take the lead before Stowe.
RSF1 Locker is back in the lead.
RSF1 Locker, who was a Division 5 driver last race, now Division 4. He wanted to challenge himself, and boy has he proven that he was up to the challenge. Absolutely phenomenal day from the Alpine. He's just got to hold off Snedden now. But LA Ham is coming, and boy is he coming furiously. Putting up best lap after best lap after best lap.
He's still 10 seconds behind though.
And Bizarre Mike now puts up the best lap of the race. He's P11 right now, so his point won't count unless he can get past the Red Bull of Old Manzi and anyone else in front of him, honestly. Meanwhile, back with your leaders onto the original pit straight, where Sir Nigel Mansell celebrated his win here in Silverstone into Cops.
Locker has no ERS.
Neither. Oh no, Snedden does have some. Not a lot, but a little bit. He's been harvesting a little.
Snedden's gonna get in here.
I think Locker's just gonna let him go. No, he's using a bit of his ERS too. Can he stay ahead of Snedden? They're side by side through Stowe. Snedden gets the lead. Locker looking for the switchback now on his inside. Backs out.
Locker's a smart driver.
Locker knows he'll get DRS on the next straight and an opportunity to overtake him.
Well, keep up with him.
Yeah, he'll do a great job of doing. He'll do a great job of doing that. I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. Currently, Locker, Snedden has 3 seconds. Locker with 6. 3 for Pierre, 6 for Jedi Gamer, 0 for the McLaren of LA Ham, 3 for OG Greasy, 0 for Josh Meister, 3 for Hippo, 0. 3, 3, 0, 3, 3, 9, 3 is your order. Heading into Cobbs, Snedden much slower than Locker, but he doesn't go for the overtake.
Locker is pushing him.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, he's definitely pushing
Locker
him
just
now.
has to get a good exit through here.
Or at least better than Snedden. It looks like they're about equal on the exit there.
Locker's got a much better
Much better pace though behind him with the slipstream and DRS. Look at that. If I'm Locker, I would start saving my ERS. Desbro with another 3-second time penalty, giving him. And Rage Quit also gets a penalty, his second penalty. Desbro gets his first 3-second penalty, actually. Oh, we got a yellow. Desbro's crashed out. Desbro has crashed out in Maggots and Beckett's. Is this a safety car?
No.
Will they stay green?
Please stay green.
Locker and Snedden are praying to the Formula One gods that this is not even a virtual safety car, let alone a real one.
Please.
They want to keep racing. They just want to keep racing, and who wouldn't want to keep racing? Oh boy. It's going to be, I don't want to say nothing. Nope.
Locker 3 seconds.
Locker gets another 3-second time penalty. He's got to hope that Snedden does the same.
Locker.
Oh boy.
Concentrate.
Oh, Snedden runs extremely wide. I don't know how that's not a penalty. Does a much better job driving through Maggots and Beckett's than Locker does, and Locker has not been saving up ERS at all. Meanwhile, Snedden, almost half a battery, has overtaken him, but he goes into the grass. I don't know how he keeps control of that car going through Stowe, but he keeps control. And he regains the lead. Coming to the line, it'll be 5 to go for these guys.
Watch out for LA16 Ham. He's close to Jedi now.
LA Ham to the line is about 9.3 seconds off the leaders. Now the chances of him ending up on the top step are slim.
But he could probably get past Locker due to his pens.
But due to penalties, he'll probably overtake Jedi Gamer and Locker.
I'm hoping we can speak to Locker on his podium.
Locker right now has just got to hope for either Snedden.
Snedden is gapping him.
Oh, Snedden is absolutely pulling away. Will Snedden win this race here and now? Going through cops. To the line, he's not going to get DRS. He's just over a second behind. James Junker gets another 3-second time penalty. Locker should have been saving. We got another yellow.
He has to burn staying.
Not quite sure who it was for. We're going to go back to Snedden.
He doesn't have the pace to save and keep in the 1 second. He has to burn. But
when he was in the lead, he should have been saving.
Yeah, when he's in the lead, 100% save. But while you're not in the lead, you're now suffering.
But Snedden has started using a lot of his ERS now to get away from Snedden. And to the line, Snedden will have the DRS here. Bizarre Mike and Hippo swap spots for P8 and P9. Josh Meister, who qualified on pole, now in P7. I don't even know what to make of that.
3 laps to go.
Currently, your fastest lap belongs to Bizarre Mike in P8.
Come on, Locker.
Locker is starting to make a bit of a comeback to him. Last lap, he did not get DRS down the hanger straight.
Oh, Snedden 3 seconds.
Oh, Snedden gets a 3-second time penalty. There is still hope for this Alpine, but he's got to be very careful in these final 3 laps. Coming to the line, will be 3 laps to go. He gets the lead back.
Gonna get Pierre.
Oh boy, will LA Ham win?
Yeah.
I said 2 laps ago it might not look good for him, but now he's only 1.2 seconds back if you include the penalties.
If we include the penalties here, all LA16 Ham has to do is get into the 6-second gap and keep it clean.
Yeah, and he's already at 6.7. To the line, it was 7.1.
Oh no. This is gonna get spicy. Pierre 4 back against Greasy.
They're side by side at the end of the straight. Who's gonna get the advantage?
There we are. Lock is
gonna be Greasy.
Never mind.
These boys are going to have to really start pushing if they want to have a shot. Josh Meister, meanwhile, now P5. He could end up on the podium. After being P7 no more than 2 laps ago. Snedden now retakes the lead. Coming to the line, it'll be 2 to go. The penultimate lap here at the British Grand Prix, home of, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I would probably say most of this server.
Hippo does get past Bizarre Mike.
Yeah, regains P8 through Stowe.
I think that's the best he's getting. He has 11-second gap.
Button, the guy behind all 3 of these, is going to get easy points. He's got no penalties in P11. Now the only question is how close.
Still get a podium, yeah, but his penalties on
Ham now 5.9 back on Snedden. Snedden is going to have to push with everything he's worth on these final 2 laps.
Locker could mess him up here. Oh,
yeah.
The softs, they will be dropping off now.
They've got to be. He's 5.8 back, but you've got to think those mediums are dropping off soon too, right? In fact, I would say the man on the best set of tires right now is probably OG Greasy.
No, I'd say Josh.
Yeah, you can make an argument between the two. The point being, this final lap is going to be absolutely crazy. Oh boy, to the line. Josh Meister. Ooh, Josh Meister gets past Greasy. He gets P4 now. To the line. Here we go. We're starting our final lap here in the British Grand Prix. Can Snedden get that 6-second gap he needs to Ham to win this race? Can Ham catch up? Will Josh Meister get involved? Probably not, but we'll find out.
At the moment, the podium looks like Snedden, LA16 Ham, and Josh.
Unless anything unforeseen happens.
I'll double check warnings for LA16 Ham and Josh.
LA16 Ham 5.5 back. He looks to drop a bit of time through this section of the track every time.
If LA16 gets a warning, he can get the pen. Same with Josh. So they better not.
Bizarre Mike gets a penalty.
P3, P4 better not corner court, or they've just balled it.
Especially LA16 Ham. I'm gonna ride on board with him. Projected winner right now.
You may as well ride on board with Snedden, who is going to cross the line in first.
Oh, he runs wide. He doesn't get a penalty. I don't believe it. How does he not get a penalty from that? Oh my goodness. OG Greasy gets past Josh Meister. Gonna ride now with Snedden, who will cross the line, the provisional winner of the British Grand Prix. What a phenomenal race from him in the Ferrari. Locker P2, but your real winner today. No, Snedden keeps the lead. I don't believe it.
Locker P4.
What? Locker loses out on a podium. Absolutely devastated. Oh, Greasy P5. P6 for Pierre, P7 Jedi Gamer, P8 Button,
Oh,
Old Manzy P9, Only Destroyer gets P10 and fastest lap, giving him 2 points. Bazaar Mike misses out on points. Ditto Hippo, Fish Sticks after going AI mode went from P4 to P8, and that seemed to be the nail in his coffin. Rage Quit P14 and P15 James Jungle. An absolutely phenomenal race from your race winner, Snedden. I don't know how he managed to win with the penalties he had and with the gap that he had to LA Ham.
Fair play, Snedden.
But absolutely phenomenal race from him.
Do you want to interview P1 and P3 and I'll do P2?
Oh man. And we've got our podium celebrations. Sure. Of Snedden, LA Ham, and Josh Meister.
I'll invite the top 3 now.
Alright.
That was a crazy race. Whew. LA16 hammers are here.
Hello.
Make sure to include your audio.
Yeah.
I'll send the other 2 another invite. So, I'll tag the other 2 in chat, see if they want to do interviews. Days, I reckon you should just crack on with the interview on LA16 now.
Very well. LA16 Ham, in those final laps, you had seemingly perfect pace to catch up to the leaders. What happened when you crossed that line and saw P2?
To be honest, I'm pretty good at it. I pitted about 2 laps earlier than I was planning to, so I could try and get the undercut on Josh. And yeah, I think those 2 laps probably cost me the race win in the end.
Oh man, yeah, because I was saying to my co-commentator here, he may have pitted a lap or 2 too soon. I was thinking because of the safety car, you could have gone even further.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out in the end versus Josh, and he's currently, I think, leading the title, so all I really needed to do was outscore him. But yeah, overall, for this race, it's just a bit gutting to see 0.3 of a second in the end.
Yeah, because I thought you were going to beat Snedden at the line, and then it said 0.3 down, and I was like, oh my, how?
Yeah, I think I cooked my tyres pushing too hard on the last 2 laps to try and get up to his penalty distance.
Oh man. Well, how are you feeling about next week's race at the Hungaroring?
Probably my favourite track, so really looking forward to it.
Same. I don't know why, but it's just my best track in this game, without a doubt. How are your teammates and your team overall feeling about this race and next week's race?
Well, I don't really know Mr. Hippo, but I know that Jamie likes a good fight, and Hungaroring would probably be up his street if he was racing.
Okay. Well, phenomenal race, LA Ham. Absolutely loved watching you today.
Cheers.
I wish you nothing but the best in the future.
Thank you. You too.
Days, you reckon you can do Sneddons as well?
Appreciate
I've
it.
got to do something with them.
Yeah, no worries. Sneddon,
Hello.
how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling very good.
Absolutely dominated the race between you. It's just a constant position swap between you and Locker. Every lap or every other lap, it would be either you or him leading. What was that fight like?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that we would be able to go on to the end on the mediums, because I think I pit the first safety car. So then, yeah, we were just swapping positions every lap. So it was good.
What percentage were your tires at the end?
Well, I don't know. I don't 40, 50. I'm not too sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was
If
sliding
it's in the
all over the
50s,
place.
you were doing a pretty good job of saving your tires.
Yeah, I don't know what lockers were, but I know I think he pitted the lap before. But yeah, I can't believe
Yeah.
I was struggling to get out of Q1, and then I qualified in Q2 on the softs. I didn't think I'd be at the front or battling
You
with
made
locker.
it into Q3 by the skin of your teeth. And to finish the day, you won the race. Absolutely phenomenal by you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
When you had those 6 seconds of time penalties, when you got that second 3-second time penalty, how were you feeling knowing that LA Ham and others were behind catching up?
Yeah, I didn't even realize until like maybe 3 laps from the end that I had 6 seconds and then LA Ham had none. So I just assumed that everyone would have at least one. But then, the gap was coming down like by a tenth or something, and then it was just staying at 6.3, and it's nice to go over the line quick enough.
Man, because when you came to the line, the timer said you were about 5.5 seconds ahead. And I was worried you weren't going to get P1. Did you have that same worry, or did your timer say something else?
I think mine said 6.2, but then I think it just kept coming down. I just heart in mouth moment before I just saw him cross the line, and it was like 0.3 or something like that. Yeah.
Regardless, you won, so the gap doesn't matter too much in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know as a driver it doesn't matter much. If you win, you win.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I know I really wasn't the quickest. I really wasn't the quickest guy today, but
but you were definitely the smartest.
Yeah, because I thought
you knew when to go for certain gaps, and you knew when to hold them off and everything.
Yeah.
You and Locker were doing an absolutely phenomenal job today. One more question. How do you and your team feel about heading into the Hungaroring next week?
I think it's probably one of my worst tracks.
Oh boy.
Just the high downforce sort of medium low speed corners. I think it's not really like that, but I just not a fan of Hungary at all.
Well, that'll do it from us in the RSF1 commentary booth. I am your host, Days Freak, alongside my co-commentator, RSF1 Invade. Thank you all for tuning in.